Hello everyone, good afternoon, and welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson. It's so great to have you here today. If you're new here, welcome in. Feel free to make any requests for your personal healing by clicking that live chat button. They can be general or specific. You can allow me to pick some crystals for you for the crystal grid, or you can request some crystals of your own. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. It's good to see you again. Go ahead and do all the same. Send your greetings to one another. And if you're watching this on the replay, know that you're guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. But if you would like to join me live, you can see the days and times of my regular streams in the description below. Just a heads up to everybody who's here regularly, Thursday morning streams are no longer happening. We have instead added a Tuesday 10 a.m. stream, and all of the times listed are in East Coast US time. Let's go ahead and dive right into our grid. We will, for the first 30 to 40 minutes, put together a beautiful crystal healing grid around all of your requests, and after a brief explanation of what Reiki is, I will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and send healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. For more information about me, my online Reiki classes, crystal shop, community Discord, or social media, it's all in the description below. And welcome in. So let's dive in. Everybody, it's so good to see you. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the grid that I've started for us. Here we go. So I've started us off with a little bit of copper as normal. I feel that copper helps to get the energy moving, breaks up any blockages. I've also already taken the liberties to put out some stones that we've been working with quite a bit and that I felt intuitively should kind of be here. One is Citrine, which helps with manifesting financial abundance and also helps to balance logic with intuition. Clear quartz, which helps to amplify any intentions that you are making at all. Can also be a wonderful stand-in for those of you who want to work with a stone and either can't attain it or it's difficult to find. Using a stand-in is absolutely acceptable. They also hold any intentions really strongly. And I've also got some Herkimer Diamond, which a lot of us have been using towards manifesting and connecting with the people in our careers who could help us quite a bit when we want to manifest and make sure that those manifestations are in alignment with everyone's highest good. Herkimer is fantastic. It's also great at being in the present moment, opening up intuition, and harmonizing energy that just seems a little bit rough around the edges. So let's go ahead and dive in, see everyone's requests. Oh, it's good to see so many folks. Hello, welcome in everybody. Korakar, good to see you. I think I saw Heart earlier. Is that true? Sandy, welcome. Korakar, Grace. Jennifer, welcome back. Violet Integration. Maricela, hello and welcome. So glad to see you all today. So let's see. I am doing well, thank you. Gotcha. So let me know if I skip anyone or if I missed anybody. But we'll start with Grace has healing intentions for weight loss, grieving, and love. Crystal request Jet, Rhodonite, and Love Quartz, I guess Rose Quartz. So let's go ahead. I did see a request in there from Korakar in regards to her friend who we had been doing some support for around grief, also that they experienced another loss. Jet can be really helpful. I think that's a great choice. Jet is a type of fossilized wood that's fossilized very quickly through volcanic activity, and it can help with like shocking change and loss. It's an excellent grief stone. It helps you to process those deeper feelings without sort of pushing them down or distracting yourself, but also not being quite so overwhelmed. It's a stone that can be there with you in the deeper aspects of the darker sides of grief. Grief is a very difficult emotion, and so this can be an excellent support. I'm also going to bring in some black obsidian because that's an excellent grief stone as well. particularly the style that I have, which is known as Apache tier. Not all black obsidian is Apache tier. All Apache tier is black obsidian. This is, aside from being excellent for things like physical shock, healing from trauma, it also is highly protective, and for nervous animals, I use this a lot. This can help us to process grief, especially when it's like a long pathway of grief. These particular ones are connected with the Native American Trail of Tears, where mid-genocide they were evicted off of their land and many died. And this is thought to have aided in that grieving process. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. They do look the same, but they are quite different. Black obsidian is another volcanic stone, but this is a volcanic glass. And if I were to hold this up to the light, I can just slightly see a little bit of light through it. Jet, not at all. And jet is also very solid, but very lightweight because it is a petrified wood. So it's almost feels hollow comparative to like a different kind of stone. So we'll bring all of those in for grief. You also mentioned rhodonite, which we use here a lot. And rhodonite is one that can help with overcoming unrequited love, which can be, for things like grief. It can definitely help with that. I actually have crematory jewelry that I wear every day that is rhodonite, but this can also help with, it's considered the breakup stone. This is a stone of opening our heart up again after loss. So whether that's a loss of the person's life or a loss of the relationship, an end of the relationship, this can be a stone that can help us kind of fill that gap in our heart. It's also one that helps a lot of folks to heal from emotional abuse as well, and is often used for things like allergies, autoimmune issues, and asthma, all of which I struggle with. So it's one I work with personally quite a bit. So let's bring that in. It's a very versatile stone. Okay, and rose quartz, you got it. Taryn, welcome in. Okay. So let's see. Rose quartz is a very light, high vibrational stone. It's one of the most popular and common stones in the West. It is found throughout the United States and lots of parts of the world, throughout Madagascar too. But rose quartz is very high vibrational love energy that can help to fill in gaps where we feel like we need some unconditional love. It can help us calibrate to the frequency of unconditional love if it's something that we have not experienced. And it's also something that can really just bring love energy into even the darkest places. It can be an intense stone to work with sometimes, so it's okay if you need to like put it down for a minute, especially if you're really going through something. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that underneath our black obsidian. Thank you for being here, Grace. Oh, also, you mentioned weight loss, and I did see a request in there for healing around money trauma, for sure. Iolite is helpful definitely for money management, like working with money in different ways and in new ways to get the most out of it. So where citrine helps call it in, this helps us to better utilize the resource. It also can help with things like sleep disturbances, which I think I saw mentioned by Jennifer. I've been struggling with that too. And definitely a stone that's looked upon as helpful for weight loss. If you're looking for anything to help you with visionary meditation or journeying or working with your guides, this is also an excellent stone for that. And again, it's iolite. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that in here and here. and Korakar. So clear quartz we already have, amethyst, citrine, rose quartz, lapis carnelian. So let's do amethyst. Carnelian is a stone of relationships and how we relate to others. With this stone, it can help with the sort of edginess that can build between different personalities as well. So in that case, it can be wonderful for people working on a project together or colleagues that are sort of trying to find a way to get along with one another to get the things done. It can be great in any kind of blended household or any household that's experiencing change or upset. This can be a wonderful stone for that. But anything that involves how we relate to others, whether it's our community, those in our lives, those we care about. It's also considered a bit of a soulmate stone. Some folks do use it to call upon their soulmates, and it can help with any kind of sexually related issue as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that in. Amethyst is useful for so many things. It helps us to clarify our connection between our intuitive information and actually making it actionable. So this is a stone of, it also helps with like personal responsibility and living up to our responsibilities and our own boundaries while not so much taking on the responsibility of others, which is why we often see this stone linked with 12 steps and other types of recovery, whether it's substance or compulsions. This is often suggested. It's an excellent all-purpose stone. It lifts the energy of a space, and it can really help anybody connect to their spiritual side in a way that is a little bit more grounded, but still quite potent and helpful. So let's go ahead and put these here. Oop. There we go. And lapis. Lapis is helpful for a lot of different things. And I know I did see a request for support around organization decluttering. Lapis can be very helpful for that. It can also be helpful for supporting growth in your career. It helps to attract folks who are working with honesty and integrity and openness. And it can help us to grow, to incorporate these skills on a higher level internally as well. So it's also thought to be helpful for pain and inflammation, particularly inflammation. And we've had quite a bit of success here using it for that. So let's bring in a little bit of lapis. Go. I hope that that's helpful to you. Did I get everything you requested? Yes. How is it spelled? Howlite or iolite? Yes, Jennifer got it. Iolite. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, iolite. White howlite is fantastic for teeth, bones, and hair. It's also fantastic for anger, resentment, frustration. So it can be great for both of those. Iolite has just so many uses. We end up, because we have so many intentions and the grid is only so big, I end up working with a lot of the same stones because they're stones that cover a lot of ground. And those are two stones that definitely cover a lot of ground. Something to use for shadow work. Oh, absolutely, we can do that. And Taryn, yeah, you're right. Taryn, you use jet and quartz for headaches. That makes a lot of sense too. And Apache tears makes sense. Yeah, exactly. It's a stone that is deeply associated with heavy grief. So yeah, shadow work too. There's a lot of good ones for that. The first one that bumped into my mind though, that's the one we'll go with. And I'm going to get the ones in the middle too. let's go ahead and grab some Indigo Gabbro. Indigo Gabbro, which has also gone by the name Mystic Merlinite. This is a stone that I feel is excellent for shadow work, even for people who are just beginning to do shadow work. Shadow work is often misunderstood. It's not spooky as it may sound. It actually means to heal the parts of ourselves that we're a little less inclined to acknowledge and certainly are not inclined to celebrate. It's like the deeper wounds, especially the ones that we don't necessarily see right in front of us. We kind of have to dig for. And Indigo Gabbro helps us to see what we're doing that's getting in our own way. The maladaptive tendencies and the ways that we've found to be coping mechanisms that are actually hindering our growth and causing us more pain. It can help illuminate those. But it's not one that can be sort of harsh, but one that can bring it to you. I mean, shadow work is never easy. At the same time, this is one that's a little bit more helpful than just surprising in some ways. So I'm going to bring that in. And Nuummite. As I've been working through this month's predictions, tarot cards for all 12 signs, the Death card and the Devil and things like that are cards that are coming up multiple times. Those cards actually indicate, much the same idea of when things come to a natural end, or when things are maybe not quite being seen for what they are. Either it's time to let them go because they've reached a natural end, or it's time to let them go because they're a hindrance and they're getting in our way and we need to go to those kind of shadowy places. Nuummite is a stone that is very old. It's like in the 3 billion year old category. And here we see it as black, but then you also notice these flashes of gold within it. This stone is thought to help us go to the dark spaces within ourselves, that shadow work, and within that darkness, finding the light, finding inspiration from spirit of where to go with that. So it's a perfect shadow healing stone. It's one that we work with sometimes here, but not as often. And I absolutely love it. There we go. Yeah, so that's raw Nuummite. That can be helpful. Let me make sure I'm getting everybody here. Korakar. Yeah, for your friend Patty, we addressed that. Support for Susan and Greg. Vincent's decluttering, success, and healing money trauma. Support with Vincent's decluttering. I have some good ones for that. And Susan and Greg, definitely the Herkimer. Let's see, we have the Lapis, which can help with inflammation. I may bring in some cinnabar for them. And I feel like mookaite may help. With healing the money trauma, I feel like there's a few stones that can be helpful. Iolite and also the Nuummite and Indigo Gabbro. But also mookaite can help with accepting change and making decisions, which when it's decluttering, a lot of times this can help us accept that we maybe don't need anything or need something anymore. And it can help us make that decision where it can feel like decision paralysis. This is one that can help us not feel quite so paralyzed. Mookaite also goes by the name Australia Jasper, and it comes in a number of colors. These just all happen to be, to look very similar despite having gotten them at very different times. So I'll bring that in. It's a very grounding stone as well. And for a lot of you that are merchants, but especially for Susan, as was requested for Susan, cinnabar is mercury, and this is a specimen where only the little red spots are mercury. Mercury is very toxic. This is absolutely not a stone that you use for direct infusions. I don't recommend using direct infusions at all in any way, meaning to put a stone in water and then drink it, but especially do not do it with this one. Although this stone is considered just excellent for anything having to do with merchants. It's the merchant stone. This is thought to attract customers and to help anyone who either creates and sells or resells merchandise to have good flow of money and a good active business. So we'll put that there. And cool. So let's move on. We've got calm, happiness, maintaining energy and strength. Feel like energy, strength, stamina, things like that, and also calm and happiness. A lot of those are covered under bloodstone, which also goes by the name heliotrope. It's this dark green with hints of red. And this is sort of I like to sum it up as the emotional stuff hits the fan stone. It can help with stamina, perseverance, and lifting despair. It's one that can relieve aspects of self-doubt and to help quiet the mind during things like meditation. But in general, it can help just calm and relax the mind, especially where we're a little bit emotionally drained and also physically drained. So I'll definitely bring this in. And then I'm also going to bring in some fluorite for some calm. So here is bloodstone. And fluorite. These are Fluorite Octahedrons. This is an excellent stone of calming. We have a lot of stones of calming on, but I feel like this is a good addition. This also helps with healthy teeth, being that it is fluoride, but in general, calm and connecting to the earth a little bit more. It's one of the stones that over time can be water soluble, which can kind of help with, we're a water planet. We're mostly made of water. It really helps us to get in the flow of things and feel more calm. I hope that helps, Sandy. Thank you for being here. Hey, Christina. Can you use fluorite as a direct infusion? I usually don't suggest using any stones as a direct infusion, just because there's misidentified stones are a thing. Like right now, everybody on TikTok and everywhere, they're freaking out about fake stones because crystals have become popular overnight. And while there are definitely some of those, more often than not, it's a misidentified stone. And fluorite, because it comes in a variety of slightly different tones and colors, is one that can be easily misidentified. So I don't use anything as a direct infusion. I use what's called a double decanter method, taking like a big glass or whatever material bowl, filling it with water, taking all the crystals I want to infuse, putting them in a jar with a lid on it, and putting that jar in the water. This way the crystals are very close to the water, but they're not actually physically touching, which can make it 100% safe all of the time. It doesn't matter if your crystals have been dyed to make them look prettier, like often happens with lapis now. It doesn't matter if they've been misidentified, if it's a toxic stone, if it is something that is, you know, a faked stone, whatever it might be, you'll still be 100% safe. So I would suggest doing that. But yeah, fluoride is something we find in our toothpaste. But there are certain low amounts of it. Like, for example, when you use a fluoridated rinse, you're not supposed to eat or drink for a half an hour after. It's meant to go on your teeth and not so much into your body. They don't want it building up. So I would say probably not best. Not one of the crystals I would use for a direct infusion. So I hope that helps. Putting them in the bathroom when you take a shower can be pretty okay. You know, just watch out with whatever it is. Like, yeah, but using even just like a mason jar and then putting a mason jar lid on top, I love those because you can always write intentions on the lid and things like that. I use liquid chalk to write intentions on the lid, and then when I'm ready to reuse it, I just wipe off the intentions, and it works great. So yeah, it's up to you, but I usually don't do direct infusion. But yeah, even my like fluoride rinse is like, don't eat or drink a half an hour after using this. And so I probably wouldn't put fluoride in water and then drink it. But also it could be misidentified, which happens a lot. A lot of people that work in the crystal world are not trained to look at these specimens under a microscope. They get easily misidentified. Yeah, there's a lot of... And thank you so much, Christina. That's sweet of you to say. I'm glad you're here. Oh, raw Nuummite. Thank you, Car, for putting that in there. Yes, Nuummite. It's only mined in Greenland and only a few months of the year because they have, you know, the ground is frozen so much of the year. I have some in my crystal shop online. The link's in the description, but it is one you can find that's fairly inexpensive, and it's not thought of much, but it is kind of easy to find. It's not a terribly expensive stone, but it is very helpful. Let's see. Okay, who else have I skipped anything? Healing inner child and attachment injuries. Abundance, manifestation, and motivation. Absolutely. Definitely abundance and manifestation. Herkimer. Let's see. Motivation. I like that. Let's bring in some Polychrome Jasper for that. Polychrome Jasper helps us to connect with our soul's purpose and feel invigorated and excited to start walking the path that we need to walk to get the things done. It helps to spur us into action, especially if it's been like a hurry up and wait scenario, like we've had to be sedentary for a while and now it's time to like get up and go. Excellent stone. And it comes in a wide variety of different colors, like a lot of jaspers. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring some in here. That's one that can give a lot of energizing and a lot of positivity towards like soul's purpose. Absolutely. So I hope that helps. Also for abundance, we have citrine and cinnabar. And what else do we have? Don't worry about multitasking, everybody. It's totally okay. Manifesting wealth. Good protection crystal, connection with psychic abilities, Inner child and attachment injuries. Absolutely. I love Rhodochrosite for inner child and attachment stuff. When I struggle with that, I find it super helpful. This is very mother-child bonding, but it's really everything that has to do with attachment, especially early childhood development attachment. It's also thought to help telepathy and accessing ancestors and things too, so it can help things like intuition, but connection with any deceased loved ones, deceased pets too, but also stress headache. But yeah, a lot of like mother wounds, parent wounds, early childhood attachment wounds. This can be helpful. So let's see, where shall I place you? I'll put them catty corner here. Yeah. And cool. Protection and psychic ability. I'm going to bring in Smoky Quartz for protection, transmutation. It's another calming stone. It's deeply calming. It helps to transmute energy, not just move it along. Also helps to move energy. And for your mother's COVID, gotcha. I don't have any meteorite at the moment, but I can get some. It's a really good suggestion. I'll see if I can get some. My friend Jane usually has some. If you check out, here's another Etsy store for you to check out. A great friend of mine, an excellent friend of mine, is a jeweler based in Philadelphia, and she has made pendulums and cufflinks and necklaces that are meteorite, and with silver and with gold. So High Art, all one word, on Etsy. You can find her there. You can also use the coupon code Reiki and you'll get a 10% discount. So, but yeah, she's an amazing jeweler and artist. But this is very protective. It helps to move energy, which I feel like can support intuitive work. But it's one that can help shift energy in a big way. I love this for doing work where you want protection, but you also want to do intuitive work. It doesn't close down pathways. It's more like it hones them and sets boundaries. So let's put a cup around here. There we go. And another one for intuitive stuff, definitely iolite. I'm going to add one more. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Heart. Absolutely. We're, you know, in recognition of your fast day of Yom Kippur. So thank you for being here. We totally understand if you spent it in reflection too. But love you for being here. Good to see you. Let's see. Something that brings intuition. Let's bring in some Moonstone. Where we have the Rhodochrosites, I'm going to bring in some Moonstone to kind of balance with that. This also can be helpful with like inner child type stuff and attachment stuff to some extent. Connected with the divine feminine, with intuition, with the cycles of the moon. If you do any kind of moon magic, Moonstone can be excellent. But it's also one that helps us to connect with intuition in a very grounded and balanced way. It's deep intuition, connection to sacred wisdom, and a very high vibrational stone too. So this can be helpful for enhancing intuition in a way that is measured, protected, and fruitful. So I'll bring that in. It's also helpful for bringing in any kind of attraction to love, and releasing patterns, which can help with things like money trauma and trauma in general. It can really help with that. So I think we're good. So let's see if I missed anybody. Headache ease, gotcha. Yeah, I'm getting the pressure headache too from, yeah, it's like low pressure, high pressure kind of difference. Speaking of which, ugh. This is one I only know about it enough to know that it helps with headaches. It's called Gibbsite. I have not found much information on it by other folks. It seems to be seldom used and a little bit more on the rare side. I'll type it in the chat. Gibbsite, and it does come in a number of colors, but this is the blue one that found its way to me through a crystal connection. Yeah, sometimes jewelers are like, Danielle, does this like do anything for your people? And I'm like, actually, yeah, I heard it's good for headaches. So I'm going to bring this in for support with your headache too. So we'll put that here. Feel better. And I think I've got everybody. Oh, and thank you for the compliment on my hair. Thank you, Grace. Opal and pink tourmaline. Definitely have. As luck would have it, I'm happy that you requested pink tourmaline, because I actually got a specimen yesterday for us to use. I'm gonna make some room for it here. Let's do. And here it is. I just got this for us. This is pink tourmaline in sedimentary rock. This is a stone of intense, unconditional love. I'm gonna actually see. Every once in a while, I like to look up what someone else thinks of a stone. So while you all enjoy looking at this stone for a moment, I'm just gonna go ahead and see what Cassandra Eason has to say about it. Yep, a lot of sacred feminine, women's health. Also for migraines and the nervous system, she uses it. This is Cassandra Eason's Crystal Handbook. Absolutely love it. Yeah, very shielding, comforting to, this might be helpful for Jennifer's requests too, but good for childhood stuff, especially connection with parents, especially also forms of abuse, if that's relative to anyone. Definitely mention something that I've always thought of it for, which is the wounded healer kind of aspect. Healers healing themselves. Pink Tourmaline. Her coughing came back. We'll definitely put intention towards rhodonite helping your mom with long COVID too. But let's go ahead and I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is and a little of what to expect. Normally I'd pick a couple of stones and have us vote, but we're running a little bit behind schedule today and I'm teaching this evening. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop into, there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and drop into explaining Reiki, and then we're going to get into the healing. Let's see. There we go. So pink tourmaline. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, my name's DanielleStimpson, and I've been teaching Usui Reiki for about 14 years now. If you want to learn about my online Reiki classes, community Discord, crystal shop, or social media, it's all linked in the description, along with all the days and times that I regularly go live. I do sometimes pop on around world events and certain astrology for some pop-up streams, so go ahead and subscribe with your notifications on if you want to be notified about those. So the Reiki that I work with is known as Usui Reiki, and this is named after the system's founder, Mikao Usui, and it was created in 1920s Japan, though the elements of this system are ancient and connect all the way back to, well, it's seen in many cultures, but specifically in Japan, connects all the way back to their indigenous faith of Shintoism, in which everything has a soul and everything is interconnected. Reiki energy translates roughly to spiritually life-guided energy or soul energy, and it's thought that this energy is already a part of who we all are, that it's flowing through everyone and everything right now in every way, every day. When we connect with this energy intentionally, we can bring in even more supportive, greater good for ourselves. Reiki is thought to help support our body, mind, and spirit come into the greatest sense of balance that it already knows how to get to. It just needs a little help. So in a way, what I'll be doing in this session is connecting with this energy that's already connecting all of us and essentially directing more of it to you. It's abundant. You're not taking on too much or anything like that. As you receive this Reiki energy, you may feel it physically, mentally, emotionally. You may have some feelings bubble up. You may notice it spiritually and mentally in terms of just some ideas, thoughts, or wisdom that suddenly come to you. You may hear your subconscious, or you might hear some intuitive guidance. You might not be able to tell them apart. That's okay too. They're both wisdom. Whatever you experience during your session, just allow it to be. You don't have to quiet your mind. You don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep your mind silent. I suggest just getting as physically comfortable as you can and just taking a nice deep breath and just seeing how it shows up. At any point, you can take a deep breath and even set any intentions like we did today. If you want to think about, hey, can I let go of this? Or, I'd really like some help with this physical thing, with this belief thing, with this, calling something into my life that I need sort of thing. You can bring that into your session at any point. And during your session, it's really free for you to do whatever you feel is appropriate. If you want to integrate some yoga stretches or a journal or something, that's fine too. But generally, just get into a comfy position, close your eyes, and enjoy. During the session, I will turn some music up if you want to learn about the music provider. She's a content creator too. Her information is in the description. And I will turn the lights down. you'll notice that they move slowly and gently through several different colors, but at no point will they be flashing or strobing. So thank you so much for being here. I will send Reiki to you whenever and wherever you happen to be, because we're all interconnected and this Reiki connects everyone, regardless of how far apart we might be in terms of miles or kilometers, or how far apart we might be in terms of time whenever you happen to be watching this. You're going to be able to receive this Reiki because it's already bringing us the connection just naturally by the virtue of what exactly it is. So for 25 minutes, I will send Reiki to you. At the end of that 25 minutes, you'll hear the music slowly start to lower, and my voice will invite you to take a deep breath and start coming back. At that time, I'll reopen the chat, and you'll be able to ask any questions or share any experiences that you feel compelled to share. If you're watching this in the future, or if you think of a question later, go ahead and use the comment or reach out to me through social media and I'll do my best to help you with it. So without any further ado, let's go into the healing part. Thank you all so much for being here and being a part of this healing experience and helping build the grid into exactly what it is. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, let's get into some Reiki. So here is our grid. Oh, it looks really pretty. Really, really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, everybody go ahead, get to your cozy spot, shake your body out, grab anything you need to feel comfortable, and draw your eyes to a close and take a deep breath. I will come back for you in about 25 minutes, which will be about a quarter after. And thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your session, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly begin to return to your body. Thank you so much for being here with me. It's an honor and a pleasure. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to ask. Thank you for inspiring this beautiful grid. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, Grace and Jennifer. I hope you both feel better. Reminder that there is not an 8 a.m. stream on Thursdays any longer. It's been replaced with a 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, but I will return Friday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., Sundays at 8 p.m., and all of these are East Coast U.S. times. Oh, thank you, Maricela. I appreciate that. You're welcome here anytime. Heart, you're absolutely welcome. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I'll see you on Friday. "10 a.m. Tuesday's nice." Oh, good. Yeah, it actually, 10 a.m. Tuesday was as good or slightly better than our usual attendance at the 8 a.m. Thursday, so I think it will be better overall. Thank you for asking. The foster kitties are doing well. I'm in Philadelphia and I'm fostering 3 kittens that currently have ringworm, but I'm treating them and bringing them back. They struggled and are struggling because they've basically spent their whole kittyhood in a little cage at the shelter, and now they've got run of my bathroom. They are playing on their own. I've taught them what toys are and a little of how to play. So that's been big. They're starting to explore like their surroundings, you know, like touching the door and wondering what it is and how it works, like doing basic kitten stuff. And they're 3 months old, so they're doing well. One of them may have a home. The other 2 are pretty bonded and probably want to stay together, and they are looking for a home. 2 little girls. You're welcome, Sandy. So if anyone is looking for some extremely mellow, loving, cuddly cats that really want nothing more in the world than love and being brushed, I introduced them to that too. They love it. They all love being brushed. Then let me know. Yeah, they currently have a cold. They'll be over that soon. They're on antibiotics. I took them to the vet Monday. Yeah, it's okay, Jennifer. You can always set the intention that, like, if you think you might sleep through community distance Reiki, you can always set the intention that it reach you either way. And you can also join in and fall asleep. Speaking of which, and my sleep cycle has just been like all the last 2-3 weeks. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for being here. You're so welcome, Korokar. All the best to your mom, and all the best to Vincent as well. But I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here with an abundance of gratitude for all of you. So grateful to have you all here. Reminder that November and December classes are currently enrolling on my website, learnreikiphiladelphia.com. And yeah, and I will return Friday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Okay. So again, thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.